Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to lesson 4.6. Today we're going to talk about partial products with multiplication. But first, we're going to look at this cool sidewalk uh, street art, right? So there's a painting. I know it looks real, doesn't it? Doesn't that look real too? But that's a painting as well. And that leads into us problem here about painting Helen's sidewalk. So I would like for you to take some time and read the directions. Then you're going to draw a picture and try to figure out the area of that problem. All right. So, how did you find the area of Helen's sidewalk? So, what did you try? What did you do for our math message problem? Hey, some people might have used repeated addition, right? Because we had 660 and 5, right? So 605 groups of 660. You could repeat it, you could use repeated addition. Some people might have used a partitioned rectangle, right? And drawn that rectangle and then chopped off the 60. And then you'd have 600 times 5 and 60 times 5. So both of those were possible. Today, we're going to learn how to use partial products. Okay, so this is going to connect really closely to those partitioned rectangles. Um, but it's just going to be another step along our multiplication journey here. We're going to multiply numbers using the partial product method. Okay, and this is going to be a place value model, right? We're going to be multiplying numbers up by one digit up to as many as 4 digits today. This is a little bit more efficient method. If you don't like drawing out the rectangles on partitioned rectangles, you might like this. If you love those partitioned rectangles and you keep getting all the questions right, then you're going to learn this today, but you should just keep doing those partitioned rectangles. Okay. The key idea here is to find the best method that is going to work for you. So let's take a look at our partial products method in the very first problem from the math message. So if we had 660 times 5, what we're going to do, we're going to start with this 5 and we're going to multiply times the number right on top of it. So 5 times 0 equals 0. Now, I'm going to put some space here, and I want you to do the same when you start doing these on your own paper, because you're going to have, this is the ones place, and we're going to have some bigger numbers as we keep going. So the first part was 5 times 0. Now we're going to do 5 times not 6. 5 times 60, right? This 6 is worth 60. So 5 times 60 equals, cross off the 0, 300. And notice where I'm going to put the 300. I lined up the place values. I put the ones place under the ones place here. Okay, and that's key because I bet you can predict what we're going to do at the end with all of our parts. So now we've done 5 times 0, then 5 times 60. Now we're going to multiply 5 times 600. Cross off the zeros. 3 times 5 is 30. Excuse me, 5 times 6 is 30. Two zeros would be 3,000. Watch me line this up. If you don't line up the numbers correctly, you won't be able to add them. Now, you could always rewrite them, but that's just an extra step. So 3,300 is our answer, which is the same answer that we had earlier. All right, so this is partial products. So let me walk through another one with you, and then you're going to walk through the next one with me. We're going to start with the 7. Just like in the rectangle method, how we put the 7 over here, we're going to start with the 7. We're going to multiply times 3. 7 times 3 equals 21. Way over there, big space. Then 7 again. Let's use a different color, keep track of all this. 7 times 50 equals 350. And now 7 times 400. 7 times 4 is 28, and 2 zeros, 2,800. Now, again, if you write your numbers and they're not lined up, you can always rewrite them. But if they're not lined up when you go to add, you will end up with the wrong answer. So I'm adding these up and I get 3,171. All right, here we go. What should I do first on this problem? Okay, 4 times 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Where do I need to write the 24? Okay, yeah, I need to leave some space. I'm going to write it way over here. Now, what do I multiply? 4 times, I hope you didn't say what times 1, because that is not times 1. 4 times 10. 4 times 10 is 40. Okay, and what is my last multiplication problem? 4 times 800, not 8. 4 times 800, which is 3,200. Then what's my last step? You know it. Add those up. So 4, 6, 2, whoop, not 3. Oh, they all disappeared. 4, 6, 2, and 3. 3,264. Okay, this is partial products multiplication. All right, now we're going to bounce back into your math journal, and I'm going to kind of work on number 3 with you because I want you to see how the partitioned rectangle and the partial products are very, very similar before you get to do the next problems. So number 3 here says the mayor wants to beautify, oh, good word choice, part of the highway by planting marigolds. That's a flower. He wants to plant 4 marigolds along every foot of highway for an entire mile, or 5,280 feet. How many marigolds will she need? Right, so I'm going to have 5,280 groups of 4. So my directions here, draw a partitioned rectangle to represent the problems. Then use partial products multiplication to record your work in a simpler way. So watch this, right? So I need a really long rectangle here because I'm going to go up into the thousands place. 4 times, so chop off the 0, chop off the 80, chop off the 200. Where am I getting these numbers? Right here. And I'm left with 5,000 here. And this is going to get kind of hard to write here in the little small spaces, but that's okay. So 5,000 times 4, when I cross off zeros, 20,000. 200 times 4 is 800. 80 times 4, 32 and a 0, and 0. So now I'm going to add those up. 20,000, 800. See, I'm lining up the place values. And 300, these are all zeros. I know they kind of look like sixes. Hard to kind of write on here sometimes. 2, 1, carry the 1, 21,120. Now watch what happens over here when I do this with partial products. Watch how some of the same numbers pop up here. Times 4. So 4 times 0, 6 to the page here, equals 0. 4 times 80 equals 320. 4 times 200, look, 0, 320, see? 0, 320. 4 times 200, 4 times 2 equals 800, which is over here. See, look, 4 times 5,000 equals 20,000. And when I add those up, I get the same thing. Okay, so let's make sure we notice this. What do you notice about these two methods? All right. Okay. Right. It's just a different way to write the same thing. Now, if you end up loving this, that's great. If you end up loving this, that's great too. I would like you to practice this partial products method today because that's our goal. So you have, here's number one. You're going to do it as a partitioned rectangle and as partial products. And then number two, partitioned rectangle and partial products. Now we're going to save this next page for another day. Okay, so you're just working on the first page, problems one and problems two on this first page from lesson 4.6. All right, so our goal here today, we're looking at partial products multiplication and comparing that to that partitioned rectangle to meet that goal today. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know, and good luck.